none of you even knows where Alfreton is. But even if her fingers were permanently stained blue-black, at least she was earning money, which until that point I wasn't. Then we married, mainly because she was earning money. And her digital stains faded when she landed a plum roll as medical lab assistant at St George's Hospital, Hyde Park Corner, involved in a legendary research project into cholesterol's role in heart disease. Oh. She adored the project, but pregnancy intervened and she left to produce Jonathan in a ward almost adjacent to her lab benches. A decade later, with Jonathan and Deborah happily established at Gospel Oak Primary School, Frances resisted the lure of pampered leisure and tried to reignite her career. And that's when she collided with life force Ruth Hayman, a passionate South African lawyer and radical who'd escaped house arrest in Johannesburg. Ruth was formidable. She arrived in London to discover that a lack of the English language among immigrant women stifled their development and social integration. And so Ruth launched neighbourhood English classes for immigrant women. Frances, born of immigrant parents with German as a mother tongue, needed no encouragement whatsoever. And so a retired, semi-retired research chemist morphed into a skilled teacher of English for speakers of other languages, ESOL, eventually becoming an ESOL guru in her own right. As well as dusty classrooms, her new life involved much trudging around the dodgier bits of Islington's sink estates. But like in classic Hollywood style, Frances was granted her glittering reward. Through a fortuitous series of events, thank you, Jeremy, she landed a retirement job backstage at Covent Garden, teaching English to young foreign opera singers and blissfully uniting two of her deepest passions. When Ruth Hayman died too early from puffing too many filter tips, Frances, along with other Hayman disciples, established an educational trust in her memory. The Ruth Hayman Trust became her passionate cause, her more than daily good deed, which neatly recapitulates the theme of Boy Scouts, even though my wife is demonstrably loyal, truthful, thrifty, steadfast, resourceful, and a serial performer of good deeds. I still protest my innocence at the accusation of marrying a Boy Scout. Because, as some of you well know, having been leader of the Springbok Patrol's 2nd Muizenberg Jewish Scout Troop, experience tells me there's an ability the Boy Scouts possess my wife doesn't. Boy Scouts can read maps. But I love her nevertheless. In fact, I'm awfully glad she's my wife. So, please raise a glass. Many happy returns.
Words do fail me, and I'm just delighted that so many people are crushed into this room to hear Leonard's wonderful, wonderful speech.
And now Frank Lazarus wanted to say something. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Frances. Happy birthday to you.
You're soon.
Hooray! Hip hip. Hooray! Hip hip. Hooray! Knock and bip. Knock and bip. Frank, take the stage. Silence.
Silence for Frank Lazarus.
I have a mere 5 lines as a tribute to Frances. There was a young lady called Frances who responded to Leonard's advances. Several grandchildren later, no decade can date her. She still captures rapturous glances.